Hello YouTube, welcome back to another video. Today I'll be doing the November fire alarm system test, so let's go ahead and get started. So today I have this EST system up. You can see I have Genesis horn strobes and a pretty standard EST system. I mean, this is kind of the baseline of what you'd see. These Genesis horn strobes are really small. They're single gang, but don't let the small size deceive you. They are really loud. These are quite mighty. You can see I have this one mounted on a red back box. It's actually pretty nice. This is kind of how it would look officially surface mounted, but there you go. This one does have fire lettering. It's a horn strobe, 30 candela. You can see the horn behind that grill has the little running man on it, so it's kind of cool. Going down, I have this EST SIGA-278 pole station. Again, this one's also mounted on an EST back box, which makes it look nice. This one was addressable, had to be converted though, because obviously this is a conventional system. So that's that. Going into the fire museum room, I have the exact same horn strobe. This is a EST Genesis ceiling mount horn strobe. It is the same thing though, like I said. The housing is obviously different and the strobe is omnidirectional, but it's the same sound. It's the pretty much the same model number that corresponds to the other one. And then this one, well, not the same model number, but it's like the same specs, if you know what I mean. And then I have this EST smoke detector. This one is an interesting smoke detector in the sense that that light never blinks. I don't really like that. The only time that light ever turns on is if it's in alarm, so you have no idea if it's even receiving power. It just looks kind of dead until you have your house burning down, and then you figure out if it works or not, which, I mean, that's definitely interesting. Going into the bathroom here, I have EST Genesis remote strobe. This is a strobe. It looks like a horn strobe because the EST strobes use the exact same housing as the horn strobes, but behind that grill there's nothing. All this does is flash. So that's that. Again, let's see the setup over here. Same thing up here. I have the 2100 smoke detector, and I have this LED alert speaker strobe for the carbon monoxide system. Going over to the far basement door, I have this. This is a 270 SPO. It's a little bit of an older style of EST pole station, but these are still being produced. A lot of people think that these are really old. I think these are probably one of the pole stations that have been in production the longest, but they're really tough pole stations. You can see this one has the new EST logo on it, but I also have a brake rod in this, so when you pull it, that will snap. But it's a really retro looking pole station, but it's still a good one. Finally, on the other side of the basement, I have the same horn strobe, exact same back box too. This is a nice red back box. I don't know if you can tell, but the font on this one is slightly different from the other ones. This is a newer style. They changed the font to this right before they discontinued this series. I kind of like it. I mean, I think most people wouldn't notice a difference, but it does give it a little bit of a refined appearance. But other than that, it's pretty much the same. Here in the panel room, I have a EST Genesis horn strobe. This is the same one, model G1RF HDVM. This one's mounted on this G1RT trim plate though, because I have a 4x4 box here and I didn't want to change it. This is a pretty common setup because in a lot of cases, these single gang horn strobes have to replace older devices with a larger footprint, so that allows them to do that. Then I have this carbon monoxide speaker strobe. Going down, I have this. This is a 278B style pole station, except it's single action. So exact same thing, key lock on the side, except there's no lift flap. You just yank this part here. And then I have a carbon monoxide detector up here. And yeah. By the way, complete sidetrack. I have this stained glass fixture I put up. I've had this for a couple years and I decided to put it up here as kind of some mood lighting, and I really like it. It's kind of cool. Out here in the garage, I have another one of these horn strobes. This one's also on a G1RT trim plate. This one also says fire on the trim plate, which is a little bit redundant. Some of the horn strobe models actually don't say fire, so in this case they'd be helpful, but this is just kind of cool. Going down, I have this. This right here is a Kidde 270 SPO. The model is K-270 SPO. Very original, but it's the same thing, rebadged down here because Kidde and EST are owned by the same company. But again, this is another modern variant. I think this one's like from 2019, so it's really not old. But yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and break the glass in this pull station to activate the system, but before I do that, I want to talk about the interesting technology here. These devices will automatically sync up because the newer EST stuff will do that. Basically, they're just wired to the NAC with no sync protocol, and when they receive power, the microprocessors in these units will basically time the horn and strobe to be exactly at the same time. So without any module, they're all going to be synchronized. I think that's really cool, but we're going to go ahead and start this off. 3, 2, 1, pull in case of fire. go outside too. Man, that November air really hits. Obviously, there's no sync protocol on these devices outside, so they're just kind of out of sync, but that's fine. This station right here does not take a key. It takes this flathead screwdriver, so you kind of just turn it counterclockwise and it opens. I'm doing this really slow, not because it's hard, but because I don't want to strip out that screw, because in a lot of cases these things get stripped out really fast. So just reset that switch, shut it. If you need a new glass rod, then you can put it in. I'm not, because I don't want to, but yeah. I explain this every video, but I'm gonna explain it again because I always get comments about it. This door automatically closes when the fire alarm sounds because it's spring loaded right now. There's this magnet that's an electromagnet and it releases when the fire alarm goes off. Let's go ahead and re-alarm with this pull station here. So lift, then pull handle. This pull station does reset with a key, so I'm gonna grab my key ring, and then this takes the key that says fire alarm on it, which is Cat 45. This goes in the side here. Flip that switch, put it back. I'm gonna go ahead and test this detector now. I made this new testing tool. This is literally a nail and a stick, but it's a small brad nail. It allows me to just test these kinds of detectors. So go ahead and put that in the hole. Let's go outside to test the outdoor devices. Man, it is really November. I still can't believe that everything's kind of done. I feel like it was just yesterday where it was like all sunny and like 75 every day. But I guess time really does fly when you're having fun. So go ahead and pull this pull station. Yeah, the spring in this pull station is not working. Go ahead and do the shed pull station while I'm out here because I already have my Simplex B key out. Man, when this video posts, it's gonna be November 30th, I think. And it's gonna be past Thanksgiving, which means it's time for Christmas stuff to go up. But at the time I'm filming this, it is the 16th, I think. Just ended off my final cross-country race today. It's almost firewood season too. I have all this scrap wood for burning. But let's go ahead and pull this pull station. Okay, that's wonderful. Again, the reason this pull station is here is because the corner snapped off, so I thought it would be a good one to put out here, because in case like I accidentally like run into it or something, I'm not gonna be too sad if it breaks. But yeah. Check out the firewood stash this year. It's almost time to use it. The horn on this unit is disabled because there's really no use in having a horn this far from the house. That my neighbor's putting up this Christmas stuff already. He does this like crazy light display. I don't know if you can see, but there's like lights hanging from that tree going down to form a tree. That is insane. While we're at it, let's go ahead and test this pull station in the garage. So pull in case of fire. This screw is a little stripped. Man, it's also almost time to re-tag the fire extinguishers. They're all 2024 and it's almost 2025. Now, in terms of coding options, there's not a whole lot I can do for these devices because they're just 2-wire devices. You have to cut a jumper to make these continuous. So they're pretty much only going to be able to do code 3 unless I permanently alter the devices. But something I can do, just kind of a fun little thing, is I can put these devices on system sensor sync. And what that's going to do is it's going to make it so that way I can do audible silence on these devices, which is kind of unique. So let's go into programming and do that real quick. Put sync system sensor, and then there we go. Also, I gotta put these next on sync mute, which is basically audible silence. Let's do this pull station. So pull for fire. That little hiccup was because of the sync. So as you can see, now that I have hit silence, they are continuing to flash. And these are 2-wire devices, so it has something to do with the sync protocol, because basically what's happening is the system sensor sync protocol, I guess, is pretty similar to the EST method of getting these to flash. I don't know. Maybe there's something to be said about the sync protocol patterns. I haven't really done that much research on that. You can kind of hear that basically what's happening is I think the panel is just pulsing power to the point where the strobe will flash, but the horns aren't. Like it's just going on and then quickly turning off before the horn can start. I don't know how good this is for these devices. It certainly voids the UL listing because the manufacturer EST obviously has not rated their devices to be used on system sensor sync. So really can't do this in a real building, although it is a little nifty trick you can do if you're an enthusiast. Let's go ahead and reset this pull station. Now, I always feel like these tests where it's just horn strobes are kind of boring. So let's spice things up a little bit. So I have this propane torch here, and we're gonna go ahead and test the heat element on this detector. So we're really gonna put the P in fire alarm, dude. Get it? Because there's no P in fire alarm, dude. Gotta be really careful to not burn the detector. Okay, that was quick. Unfortunately, this one doesn't have a heat sensor on it. It's just a smoke detector. So if I were to use that blowtorch, then this thing would just melt. So I have this nail on a stick. We're gonna go ahead and shove that right in the hole. I'm gonna go ahead and initiate the alarm through the home smoke alarm system. So these are linked to the fire system in the basement through a relay module. I'll go ahead and go in depth with that a little bit more, but hit the test button on this detector. So there you go. Once again, I explain this every video, but there's always at least like 200 people who ask about this. There's a module in that detector here that's above the panel, and that's just wired to the zone of the fire panel. There's a relay leg that's like common and then normally open, so that's what I connected. And then when the alarm sounds, it closes that, which causes the alarm to sound. I guess there is not really a practical purpose for that, but there kind of is, because this door here is interfaced with the fire system. So the point of the door is that when the fire alarm goes off, it'll compartmentalize this area. And I guess there's probably a high likelihood of a fire. If there's any fire in the house, it's gonna be here. So it's helpful, at least as a smoke barrier, to stop smoke from going everywhere. But yeah, go ahead and reset the system. Before we end today off with a functional test of the fire system, we're going to go ahead and do the carbon monoxide system. Just use the key switch.
Warning, carbon monoxide. Please evacuate.
Set it back to the tone.
Warning, carbon monoxide. Please evacuate the building. Warning, carbon monoxide. Please evacuate the building. Warning, carbon monoxide. Please evacuate the building. Warning, carbon monoxide. Please evacuate the building.
These
Warning,
sync, by the way.
carbon monoxide. Please evacuate the building.
Actually, since both the CO devices and the fire devices are all EST, technically if I activate both carbon monoxide and fire at the same time, they will all sync up. So how I'm going to do that is I'm going to go ahead and do a system reset, and while it's resetting, I'm going to pull both. So now when it returns to its normal state, it's going to instantly see that both of these are activated, and both systems will activate exactly at the same time.
Warning, carbon monoxide. Please evacuate the building. Warning, carbon monoxide. Please evacuate the building. Warning, carbon monoxide. Please evacuate the building. Warning, carbon monoxide.
Oh, I didn't reset those devices. Can I clutch it up? No, there's no way. All right. I gotta kind of accept that. All right, so now we're gonna finally figure out if this detector actually works, because like I said, it doesn't ever blink. So we have a fog machine. Go ahead and do this. I put it in a cardboard box because that allows the smoke to actually like rise up. It's actually really effective. Should be pretty quick because this is a photoelectric detector. Okay, there it goes. Look at how dense that smoke is. I guess now we know that that detector does work even though it doesn't blink, which is good because if my house is ever burning down, then at least I know I can rely on that. Well, that is going to do it for this video. You can see there's quite a lot of fog everywhere, but I'm Fire Alarm Dude 5967. There's currently 6 Mondays until Christmas. Actually, you can see I already got my Christmas stuff. I bought like this garland. I bought like all these like lights and stuff. It's going to be pretty fun this year, but other than that, thank you for watching this video. Please do like, comment, and subscribe. And once again, as always, I'll see you in the next one. Farewell.